If you are wondering at all what it is like to work with me on a website design or refresh, or maybe you want some ideas about what a website would look like for you if you are in the coaching business, or if you have another small business service that you offer for your audience, today we are going to talk about a website that I recently did for a mindset coach. So you can see all the steps that we go through, what it's like to work with me, what we did to create her site, what were some of the things that we created on it, and how it works and all that. So tune in to find out all about that today. Hi, friend. If you are a small business owner who would love to grow your brand online, focus on the right marketing strategies for you, and be able to promote your business with confidence, then let's connect. My name is Jessica Wangelin. I'm a wife and a mom of two, and I've been an online business owner for more than 10 years. I'm passionate about helping you to create and grow a business that works for your life. On the show, we talk about marketing ideas, content creation, website strategy, and productivity to make great things happen in your business today. So let's get started. Hi there, friend. Welcome back to the show. So great to have you here. When you get a chance, we would love it if you would leave a review for this podcast. If you have found the information here helpful, you've ever shared it with a friend, I'm so thankful for that. We put out lots of information. Well, I say we, and I really mean I. But I put out information that I find I am going through kind of day, week to week with my business. And I hope that it is kind of a real-time, behind-the-scenes explanation of things that help you in your business, whether you are just getting started or looking to kind of get your business more off the ground or doing a refresh. We'd love to talk about all things marketing, websites, and content here on the show. So thank you so much. If you would leave an Apple review, I would love that. Today, we're going to talk about my friend Carissa, whose website I got to design recently, and give you a little bit of behind the scenes of what it's like to work with me on a website design project, but also to give you some information and tips to help you think about what it might be for you to create a site for your business, or if you already have a site, it's either not published or it needs a complete makeover. These are some ideas of things that you can implement really easily and really quickly for your business to get your website up and going, because we know that having a website is a very professional online presence that really does elevate your business. It gives you the ability to have a long-form content plan that will last for years. It allows you to showcase your authority, share your message with your audience, and do all kinds of other things. Of course, sell your products and services. So let's get talking about the High Impact Mindset Company, which I got to work with recently, like I said, on a website, full creation from scratch. So here's an example of a website that I created for someone. So Carissa is kind of new to starting her coaching business. She does work full time, but she is planning to offer mindset coaches for both individuals and for organizations. And so she knew that her audience was really going to be looking for something very professional and was looking for the website to reflect that experience as well. So after I got to design and we published the site, I got to talk with her about her experience. And so here's some of the things that she said about working with me and how we did the whole process for her site and all those kind of good things. So don't forget, while you are listening to this on the podcast, you can go and read this if you wanted to find more details, of course, on our blog at jessicawanglin.com. We have all kinds of information there about content marketing, about website design, about just all those good behind the scenes productivity tips and more. Find this on the blog when you look for that information. So website that we designed. Carissa is a life coach. We created a WordPress self-hosted website with a cadence theme for her site, because those are the two platforms that I work with the best. I love them. I think they are very sustainable. They're very user-friendly, and they're great for you to do a lot of other things with on your website itself. So here are the pages that we created for this site. We did home, about, resources, blog, contact, coaching, mindset coaching, disclaimer, privacy policy, terms and conditions. And her target audience for this website is a busy working mom, typically who's in a corporate career. She's a very high performer. She does it all, but she feels like something is missing. So that gives you just a little bit of background about kind of like the setup, some of the tech background, some of the things that we created, and how that works. So let's talk about the design process of how a website actually works. It's a pretty straightforward kind of 5-step process of working with me to design or refresh your WordPress site. Here's what happens. So first of all, you can book, anyone can do this, and it's completely free to book a discovery call with me to talk about your ideas for your website. So if you're someone that knows you want a site, it is your next step. that you can go ahead and book a discovery call to have a conversation. We can talk about your ideas. We can talk about if what I do is right for you and if it fits. And then you can go ahead after we decide that this is a great match and we want to connect about designing a site for you. You can book a VIP day to work with me. Now, the length of those depends on the scope of your project and what you're looking to do at this time. But usually, if you are creating a website, you absolutely book a minimum of 1 day, if not 2, depending on how many pages and features and things you want on the site. After you book a VIP day with me to work for your site, we get you all of the materials that you need to prepare. So that includes a very extensive Google Doc workbook to record and plan all of your information for the project. So in here, we create all and write down and manage all of the links that you need for your site, all the copy that you write, all the places where your photos are, all of your branding information, all of your writing, and all of those good things. And so after that, we schedule a strategy meeting where we get to actually plan the website itself. So this is when we meet online for the first time, if we have not had already the discovery call, because some people do skip that part and just book a day right off the get-go. So we get to answer questions about the site, and we can strategize. We can go over everything that we need to. I can ask you questions about the site, and it's a time for us to talk about what the plans are going to be for creation day. And then lastly, the VIP day occurs, and that is really exciting, where I get to actually design your site. We don't actually meet on that day, but you do have to be available for feedback, questions, things like that, for me to ask anything of you that I may need in designing your site. So you have to be available on the VIP day. And then I get to work and you get to relax. And this is the bonus of doing a service in this way. It gets something done for you very strategically and very quickly, but also done very well because of the preparation that we have that goes into the VIP day and all of the things that we talk about both on a discovery call and our strategy call and our meetings. You get to have the site of your dreams and you get to do all of those things that you need to do otherwise that day, and I get to design your site. So that's quickly the process that we go through. And I will add as well, we are having some additional opportunities for you to work with me to, if you don't already have copy and writing for your website, for us to work on that part of it. And I'll be sharing more information about that coming up, but it's a really exciting opportunity to work with me on doing that. If you're someone that just wants to get going, but you don't have any of the writing and you feel like that's a stumbling block, let it not be that anymore. We can talk further, for sure, be in touch. So after the VIP day, then I provide suggestions and next steps to let you know how the project is finished. You complete a survey about working with me and any kind of feedback you'd like to provide. I certainly am open to that. I'm never offended by anything you want to suggest. It's very helpful for everyone involved. So that's the gist of the span of how the VIP Day project goes in terms of designing a website. But we're going to talk specifically about Carissa's VIP Day and what she thought about doing it. So at first I asked her what prompted her to seek a new website design or redesign. So she did not have a site at all. So this was from scratch. She said that she didn't have one, of course, and she felt like she needed the visibility and credibility. And that's a great step for why you might think that having a website is your next step for your business, because you want people to find you online and you want to build that authority by having that professional presence. Carissa's main goals for having a website specifically, and this is a question that you do get asked when creating a site or if you're creating one on your own. She said, I wanted to educate, to get my clients to know me, and I wanted to have a platform to share my offers. So this is also a very common answer that people give when asked why they want to have a website. I have lots of conversations with people who have their information kind of all over the place, and it's not in one cohesively branded, nice setting where people can review it. That's what a website does for you. So then we get to talk about what are some challenges of not having a website or that online presence. She said, since she didn't have a company yet, or actually has not launched her coaching, all of it was kind of happening at the same time. She was setting up her services. We were planning the website. She said not having a site made her feel like not official. So she thinks that having a website helps her drive things. It's more than just branding. It's helping to build what her company is about. So it helps drive clarity for who we are here to serve. Then we get to talk about what her experience was like during the initial consultation phase. And here was her reply. I thought the whole process was great, and I thought the way you approached the system, like, Carissa, you need to get your ducks in a row before we even meet, was very helpful, which is funny because, yes, that's what we do. You have to absolutely be prepared to create something like this. So she got clear on a lot of things that she knew her business needed to have on the site. And she said, I like the way you structured the calls. That was very thoughtfully laid out. There was a starting point, and it only got better about how we continue to enhance our conversation and what the website plan was going to be. So it was important for her for that all to be seamless. And she said that the experience absolutely was much. So I asked her also in our development phase about planning for the site, if she could share any feedback or suggestions about during that part of it when we were actually setting up the development of the site. So her answer was, I felt like you went above and beyond. You and I were chatting a lot with each other. There was a little bit of all over the place when it came to some things, but you were good in helping me drive clarity in what we were trying to do. You were open to new ideas that would pop up, and I never felt boxed in. I loved your design style right off the bat. The way you laid out the design, it felt very much like what I wanted. Overall, the website is exactly what I wanted. So that was really exciting. I really am so thankful for that feedback. It was a great experience to work with her. And that's the fun part when you find someone that you want to work with and it just matches up, and you really do then get to implement and like have the website that you're really dreaming about doing. So that was some of the feedback from her. So then when we talk about having a website, we haven't launched, and a lot of people think, well, what am I going to do with a website after I get it published? Well, what happens? And so I always ask people that when I have been doing these kind of client case studies, I want to find out what the impact is of the site to their business. So I asked Carissa that about the site. And she said it's doing what it needs to right now, and I know it's set up for more functionality as the business grows. So when I have course offerings, I feel confident that I could add that in and it will work efficiently together. And that's some of the point also of having a site, is that really my philosophy is that to get a site from the get-go is that it's initial phase that you have, that you get an MVP website, your minimum viable product, which is up, working and functioning. It does not have to be the end-all project that you have in your mind, because a website is a living, breathing thing. So think of having one from the beginning as like a initial phase of having that site and going from there. Then I asked her what are some specific metrics, if she had any, or statistics that she could share to indicate any kind of success of actually launching the site. So she said it was still very early, but as of right now, and this was just about a couple months after we had launched the site, about 2, I think. She's had 28,000 impressions and 346 clicks. So she's building awareness right now for her business. And she'll get, because she was planning to get a social media manager up and running, and there were some other chunks on her timeline to build out a funnel and a lead magnet, and all of those were kind of like she would be having more time to work on those now that the website design is done, and it freed up a lot of her time. So she was really glad to have that kind of off her plate. She said, I loved working with you. I want to work with you again. And she said it was very easy. I worked with other website designers and I felt like it was pulling teeth. They weren't getting what my vision was, but the experience was very much in line. And I do feel like it was very easy. I wasn't worried at all. So I was really thrilled to have a wonderful testimonial from this client that I got to work with on her website design. And I wanted to share that with you to give you a little behind the scenes of what it's like to work with a website designer and kind of what happens in that process. And so we have some really exciting information for you depending on where you are in your website journey. If you already have a site and it needs a little dust off or a makeover, you can go ahead and find our how to create a dynamic website strategy training. I will leave the link in the show notes here. It is at jessicawangelin.com/training. We will also have some other information coming up about how to plan your website, so watch for that. We are going to putting together information if that is somewhere you are where you want to get started planning a site and take your next steps with it. That would be super exciting to know about. So thank you so much as always for being here for the show. We look forward to having you on another episode very soon. Thanks everyone. Do you have a website that is collecting dust or maybe needs a makeover or perhaps does not match you or your business at all anymore? Then I invite you to come to my free 35-minute training about how to create a dynamic website strategy. This masterclass will help you get excited about your website again. Here's what we cover. Discover the power of what your website can do for you. Craft your winning website strategy. Get organized so you know what action steps to take after you watch the training. Give you ideas for where to start with content. A 5-second hack for knowing how to organize your blog. and a list of must-have pages that every website should have, and next-level ones for even more advanced sites. I give you all of that at this free training at jessicawangelin.com/training. Please come find it, and I look forward to seeing all the dynamic and amazing things you do for your website today. Thanks so much for listening to the show today. I really appreciate you being here. Please leave a rating and review so that helps more people to find our show and help them with their marketing and their mindset to grow their business with confidence. See you next time.